Yo, what's the deal? Miss your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag, you know what I mean? As of this recording, it is actually 5 p.m., February 17th, 2026. You know what I mean? This is the first video of the day. I will be coming with another video tonight because I have another topic I wanted to discuss. You know what I mean? You know what's funny? Like, as I'm looking at my phone, you know what I mean, before recording, I'm looking at a lot of, like, my thing is, and this has nothing to do with wrestling and such, but why the fuck do they compare Nicki Minaj and Cardi B together? Like, come on, man. Nicki look way better than Cardi. I'm sorry. Nicki Minaj look way better than Cardi. I don't give a fuck what no one says. Y'all like it? Fuck you. And also, I'm doing something brand new on the channel. So you notice, like, when I put shorts, I'm actually putting wrestling news on the shorts. I'm going to start doing that moving forward. You know what I mean? Because, especially for my channel, because, I think it makes sense for me to do that. You know what I mean? As opposed to, instead of, like, having you go to my page. I mean, I would love for you to go to my page. Tag pwnews.blogspot.com. You know what I mean? And see my stuff. But I'm doing something new with that. Right? Last night's Raw was very interesting. Because, it was okay. Nothing much has really been has really put, to the build of Raw. I mean, because we're still on the road to WrestleMania, right? But, there were a couple of things that stuck out with Monday Night Raw last night. With one of them being a backstage segment with Adam Pearce. And a mysterious crate was given to him. And on the crate, it said, do not open until February 28th. February 28th is actually the night of the Elimination Chamber in Chicago, Illinois. And as I'm saying, I'm like, there's only one person that I know fits into who this crate is or who's under the crate, right? It's Chris Jericho. And I'm going to tell you why it's Chris Jericho. Okay? Now, and there were a lot of subtle hints last night. Actually, one major subtle hint. Actually, two. Okay? One, the person who delivered the crate, right? I don't know if anyone noticed, but he also had a checklist on him. He had a checklist right on him, right? He had a clipboard, right? And that clipboard is what? Synonymous to what? Chris Jericho on the list, right? That's number one. Number two, right? On the crate, there's walls. There's walls on the crate. There's 4 walls. What happens when you break the crate? You break the walls down, right? And number 3, Chicago was the same place, and that's where Elimination Chamber is going to be at. Chicago was the exact same place where he made his official World Wrestling Federation debut many years ago. Actually, about 3 decades ago. 3 decades ago, right? So, actually, no, 4 decades. It's 4 decades. Now, I'm hearing a lot of stupid shit, right? I'm hearing some people say, and I'm gonna, I'm gonna do process of elimination right now. Okay, let's play process of elimination. I'm hearing Danhausen's name being thrown into it, right? I don't know where Danhausen's coming from. He's not a free agent yet. Why the fuck would they actually book Danhausen for the main roster? It doesn't make sense. It legit does not make any fucking sense whatsoever. Okay? It does not make sense at all to have Danhausen there, especially like if they're moving. Yes, and there is interest. There is definitely interest, but WWE's interest in Danhausen, it's more for NXT than anything else, right? Let's eliminate him. We can eliminate him off of there, right? Then I'm hearing Evil's name, right? Let me ask you a question. WWE does not have a great track record with booking Japanese stars, right? They don't. Why the fuck would they actually put Evil in a box and debut him there? If, and mind, Evil was not even in the same vein as as a Chris Jericho or as any big star, right? And yes, even though Evil's a free agent, yes, he is a free agent. We know that. However, how do you know if they're not trying to put Evil in NXT? It's a possibility. He's not a main roster guy. This is not Tama Tonga, right? This is not no fucking Tama Tonga, okay? And mind you, like, where are you going to put Evil at? What, by himself? It's not going to make sense. It clearly is not going to make any fucking sense. So let's get that out the way, right? Let me see, who else? Who else is in that box? Huh? Who else in it? Who? Brother Love? Come on, man. And here's something else that you got to think about with Chris Jericho, right? Here's another thing you got to think about. He will be already finished with all his Fozzy commitments, right? He will be completely done with the whole Fozzy stuff. So, and I guess WWE wanted to, debut Chris Jericho here in the States, where he's going to get a pop. Because think about this. There was no way that they was going to hide him in Saudi Arabia for the Rumble. There was no fucking way. None at all. None at all. Right? It's more than likely Chris Jericho. And I'm pretty sure the sickos are mad like, he's still in the roster. He's still in the roster. That doesn't mean a motherfucking thing, nigga. That don't mean shit. Who knows? Maybe his he might get taken off the roster that day. You never know. You never know. All signs point to Chris Jericho, right? What, you think it's going to be David Finlay? Get the fuck out of here. You serious, nigga? You serious? I was hearing a lot of jokes. I was hearing that, it could be the script to AEW Dynamite. One person said, this is, it's AEW's creative team, right? Let's keep it a stat, guys, okay? It's more than likely Chris Jericho. All signs point to Chris Jericho. Because hands down, there's a guy who reinvents himself, right? And again, there was subtle. Now, I don't know if this is also true, but from what I'm hearing was that I guess there was like a little drawing of the list. You know what I mean? Of the list on the box. It might look like that, but I don't know. But I know the guy who gave Adam Pearce the box. You know what I'm saying? I think he also said, send this over to SmackDown. So maybe we might get another hit. I have a feeling we might get another hit on Friday. I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked. But again, all signs point to Chris Jericho. All signs point to him. I mean, if you don't like it, too fucking bad. Anyway, guys, I'm about to be out. You know what I mean? I will come with another video tonight because I got a lot of shit. I got something that the sickos are definitely not going to like. So I'm going to holler at y'all. Peace!